guys, welcome back to another episode. Sorry we skipped last week. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't any particular reason. I just surprisingly had nothing I really wanted to share, which is really odd because I'm always going through something. But I suppose it's a good thing. I am, however, I wouldn't say going through something just yet, but starting to build up a bit of a wall around me again, being this time of year. When you got Easter this weekend, and then straight after Easter is Mother's Day here in Australia, because May 14th is Mother's Day, and all I'm getting is shit. Buy your mother this, your mother's gonna like this, your mother's gonna love that. And it's just like, I get it. I get you need to promote shit. Like, you need to sell shit. It's all Mother's Day related. I get it. But at the same time, when you think about it, when it comes to Mother's and Father's Day and all that bullshit, it's kind of rubbing it into the faces of those who don't have a connection or don't have that parent or parents at all. It's kind of cruel. And the same could be said about the holidays. I mean, I'm not saying that, nothing should be available for people to buy. I'm just saying maybe don't shove it in our fucking faces. I mean, you listen to the radio, it's all over that. You listen to TV, or you watch TV, it's all over that. Then you walk into the stores and it's blasted everywhere. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Easter, whatever. And it's just like, if you celebrate those things, you know when they are. So we don't really need to be reminded year after year after year after year after year that these things exist. Especially when it comes to public holidays. I'm telling you now, anyone who celebrates Christmas isn't going to forget that it's Christmas. We all know the sales are coming. Like, it's such a hard predicament. Because on one half you're like, well, just because you don't want to celebrate or you don't want to deal with it, then why should others miss out? And then at the same time, it's like, well, it's a bit unfair on those who never had it or don't have it to begin with. So where the fuck do you stand? I mean, I know for me, now at 30, I'm like, does it affect me as bad? No, but does it still affect me? Absolutely. It's just an odd spot to be in. And now, like a month out from Mother's Day, I'm okay. I know it's coming, so I'm sort of building myself up for it. But a week or two away, or the week of, I'm just going to go back to hiding again. And I know I will. I do it every year. No matter the amount of therapy or the amount of drugs I'm on or have taken or seeing, the same thing happens every year. I'm okay. I slowly start to recluse, and then I just completely hide away altogether. I don't want to deal with... I mean, it's not a holiday. What would you call Mother's Day? I don't want to deal with just the day. I don't want to deal with anything or anyone. I don't want to deal with... Oh, the worst is social media. Because everyone's posting about it. And then if you don't post about it, then people notice and then you get the messages and it's like, how was your Mother's Day? What did you get? What did you do? Even people that are supposed to be friends who have known for like the whole time I've known them that I do not have any contact with my mum, I will still get messages every year saying, what'd you get your mum? Oh, wait, like, I forgot, I'm sorry. And I'm like, really? Really? But, it's just a catch-22. You know, I want to be there for friends. I want to support what they do. I want to support what their families do. And if you guys are big on these sorts of things, then that's totally okay. I'm not saying people shouldn't celebrate it. What I am saying, however, is I feel like there should be a natural sense of sensitivity around the subjects rather than just blasting it in everyone's faces. Especially for those who have actually lost these people in their lives. Like, I don't have contact with my mum, but as far as I'm aware of, she's alive. Well, actually, according to my dad's dating profile, she is alive. Oh, yeah, that was a fun one. When your dad matches with your mum on a fucking dating site. Oh, awkward. But going back to the main issue, it's like you don't know how to feel. You don't want people to not celebrate it, but you don't want to be in the midst of it, but then you can never get away from it. Same with public holidays in relation to, you get the whole, what did you get for Christmas? Or what did you get for Easter? Or what did you get or do for this and that? And you're like, oh, nothing. Like, why? God forbid you actually didn't do anything on these days. You must support and celebrate and see people and do things. And it's like, why? Why am I obliged to do this? Firstly, I'm not religious at all. There's not a single religious There's not a single religious bone in my body. So why should it matter? I mean, I was kicked out of religious education in school. I questioned the teacher too much and he cracked it, so I wasn't allowed to go back. So myself and the Jehovah's Witness girl sat out every lesson. That was interesting. But like, when you think about it, if I'm not religious, why do I have to celebrate Easter and Christmas? And when it comes to Mother's and Father's Day, it's like, I'm celebrating the fact that you gave birth to me by accident. Let's be real. I know I wasn't planned. I'm very aware of that. My sister was planned. Unfortunately, my sister is the result of a failed marriage trying to glue itself back together. And she knows that. I'm not saying anything she doesn't know. I mean, she doesn't listen to this anyway, but we're both very aware. But for me personally, like, I was never planned. So it's like, here, have a pair of socks to celebrate the fact that you guys gave me life. Like, it's kind of bullshit. And really, really think about it. Like, the shit that we give our parents for these days is bullshit. No one really gets, like, an extravagant gift for these days. That's what birthdays are for, and Christmas, if you do that. But for a day that was supposed to be celebrating, hey, cool, you've helped me survive. You did this. You are a parent and you've made it work. Here, have a pair of socks. Here, have some chocolate that you can get every day of the week. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If anything, they're the days that, if we do it, they're the days that we should be celebrating more so than Christmas and Easter. Because it's celebrating the fact that they've gotten this far. And let's be real, half of us were shitheads as kids. Half of us still are. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. This does not make sense. Which sort of leaves me in an even bigger predicament, because now I'm like, if we do Mother's and Father's Day, we need to be bigger at it. But at the same time, I don't want it shoved in my face, because I don't give a shit about Mother's Day. I couldn't care if she's rotting in the fucking Earth somewhere, and it sounds horrible, but if you've listened to date, you know why I say that. If you haven't, what are you doing? Go back and listen to the other episodes. But yeah, I don't know. I can feel myself being prepared and slowly declining mentally. I know it's coming. I can see it coming. And the most annoying thing is, there's nothing I can do about it. I know it comes every year, and every year it's no different. You know, I ball up, hide. I don't give a shit about the world. And that's just gonna be me. But it's just really unfair on those around me, because there's nothing they can do. And I know it's coming, and I will still, once I hit that final low that I'm going to hit during this time, everything else will be a blur. Everything else around me is just not going to matter, and I'm going to become a horrible person. And I'm not saying I won't care about people at all, but I'm going to be so self-loathing and so self-absorbed, which is horrible to say, but it's just the way it is. Especially for that week. Because I'm going to be so focused on how I feel and what's going on that I'm not going to give a shit about people around me. And I hate that I get that way. And I know that I get that way. And I still can't fucking prevent it. I still can't prevent it. I've tried so hard to ignore how I feel. I've bottled it up. I've spoken about it. I've spoken to therapists, spoken to friends. Like, there's nothing I can do that fucking helps. Every single year is the same. Every single holiday, every single Mother's and Father's Day. Or not so much Father's Day. I still speak to my dad, but Mother's Day, it kills me every time. It's almost like I revert back to being that really young kid where I was being ignored by my mother, and it's like I'm going back to like 5-6 years old, and my mum is standing in front of me with a glass of wine in her hand, dancing, vomiting, spilling everything she possibly can, just to tell me to go clean it up and then go to my room. And it's like, why do I want to fucking celebrate her? Congratulations, you had a child that you never wanted, never cared for. Here, have a fucking celebration about it. Like, no. That's not fair, and that's not right. But in the end, there's literally, I keep saying it, I sound like a broken record, but there's nothing I can do. I've been medicated pretty heavily in the past, but in the end, I still end up thinking about this stuff. I just end up being a bit more of a mush. I don't verbalize myself as much, so people don't really hear it, but I'm still feeling it. Never goes away. And unfortunately, I think this is something I'm going to just have to deal with the rest of my life. I mean, I hope to fucking God that as I get older, I just care less. But I'm already 30 and I still give a shit, so who knows? But that pretty much brings us to the end of this episode. It's a bit of a rambles, it's a bit of a shambles, a bit all over the place, but you should expect nothing less from me these days. But I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. An absolutely fantastic Easter. I know I've just spent 15 minutes bitching about holidays, but if you celebrate it, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. You get all the goodies you could possibly want, and you'll hear from me again in 2 weeks. So I'm still going to do every 2 weeks. I'm not going to do this week and then again next week to try and be on the same schedule. I'll just go 2 weeks from here. So you'll hear from me again in 2 weeks. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.